Hi, welcome to the new episode of Geek Lunch Meet. As usual, I'm your host Chris, and I'll be filling you in with all the latest news and reviews that's been going on this week. If you could hit like and subscribe to the channel, that would help us out a great deal. Help us spread the message of geekdom around and get more eyeballs on the channel and just help us out in general. Doesn't cost you anything, would be absolutely fantastic. Not well, there wasn't a lot of news this week, and then I suppose the big stuff came from yesterday's Netflix's Tudum, or it's basically the noise that Netflix makes when it launches, and it is their yearly streaming thing where they talk about all what's coming up in the next year and what they're currently working on. So it streamed live. Say it goes on for just over 3 hours. I'll drop a link in the description below as always if you want to watch the whole thing. There's a lot of stuff on there. Obviously different Bridgerton's on there and various other Netflix shows that may appeal to you. They weren't my cup of tea, so I've distilled it down to the sort of the geeky things that I was looking forward to. The first thing being Stranger Things 4, the long-awaited Stranger Things 4, that obviously the pandemic put on hold. It's finally coming next year, and they showed us a snippet of footage, not a full trailer, unfortunately, but just another little snippet of footage, which I say again I will link to in the description below, where basically we get to see a new character. I believe his name is Victor Krill, who's going to be played by Robert Englund, obviously Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street films in the modern day. But the footage starts with showing, I don't know if it's like back in the 50s or something like that, Krill with his family in this house, and then it looks like there are obviously some nasty supernatural shenanigans. Possibly looks like his family are all dead. I believe he ends up in a mental institute, and then we cut to obviously the our regular Stranger Things kids going into the house and looking around. Don't get a say. It's just like a brief teaser. Unfortunately, interesting to see. I mean, I don't know if they're going to address it. Obviously, where it's been so many years since last season, and obviously the kids, because of the ages they are, have grown a lot, and some of them look like they're in their late 20s. So I don't know if they're going to do anything CGI wise to make them look a bit younger, or whether they're just going to go the makeup route. But yeah, I don't know if it'll address it. But some of them look like do now. Getting a lot. Not really passing for sort of the school kids as they were. But yes, that's coming, and that's coming sometime next year. They still didn't give us a definitive date, and as I say, not the full trailer yet. We then also got a trailer for Super Crooks, an anime series coming from comic book writer Mark Millar, who is responsible for Kick-Ass, Kingsman, Wanted, those sorts of things. It's the same usual thing. It's super villains. He said it's like I've not actually read it. It's like a crime series, but with super villains. So you concentrate on the villains rather than the heroes. Very similar to what he did with Wanted. That's what he does. Again, I'll pop the link to the trailer below. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Again, that's going to be sometime next year. They then said Ultraman Season Two. We didn't get any footage, but we did get this piece of artwork showing lots of Ultramen, Ultramans, I mean, maybe there may be some Ultra Women's in there. I don't know, in the suits. Yeah, that's coming. This is coming next year, which is great. I love the first season. It told like the middle bit was a bit strange. The story sort of wandered. Something to do with a stalker of some pop star, but once that was all done and dusted, then it was just a big few episodes of huge CGI battles between Ultraman and various alien entities, which was great. Yeah, and it'd been a while, and I thought maybe they weren't going to do a season two, but they are, and it is coming next year. So I'm absolutely looking forward to that one. We then got the trailer for Cobra Kai Season 4, which I mentioned before on the show. That is coming, that's 31st of December, I think it is. I think it's New Year's Eve this year. We'll get the first episode of that will drop, where the two dojos looks like they combine to take on the evil Cobra Kai in a mass karate tournament. So that would be cool. We then got the first footage from the Sandman, Neil Gaiman's seminal comic books that started in the 80s, run through into the 90s. I think there are about 75 issues. You can get them. I think it's 10 volumes now collected of them all together. I've got the first couple. I must admit, I keep meaning to get the rest of them. I've just not got round to it. But essentially, it is the story of the Endless, who are these beings. You've got Death and Dream, who's also known as Morpheus, and various other their siblings. Dream gets captured during some occult ritual and held prisoner for about 70 years or something, I think it is. And various shenanigans happen from there. So from what I've read of it, it's fantastic. This footage looks great. The cast is absolutely that they've put together. I'll go through Sanjeev Bhaskar, Asim Chowdhury, quite a lot of sort of English comedians in it. Gwendolyn Christie, Jenna Coleman from Doctor Who, the awesome Charles Dancer you'll see in the footage, Stephen Fry, National Treasure, Boyd Holbrook, who else we got? John Cameron Mitchell, Patton Oswalt, Jolie Richardson, Tom Sturridge, who's playing Dream, and David Thewlis, amongst others. Yeah, absolutely stunning looking cast. Yeah, can't wait to see that. No date on that. That will be next year, I suspect, as well. We then got a teaser for Extraction 2. Extraction, you may remember, is the actioner starring Chris Hemsworth, where he is an operative who goes in to rescue a kidnapped boy from a war zone. And then it's just like almost like a non-stop hour and a half chase scene of action. There's a very good bit in the middle, it's like 10-15 minutes. Made to look like one continuous take. Obviously, it wasn't, but it's very well done as he's chased. Yeah, good fun. Nothing taxing on your brain cells. Nothing really original. Had it come out in the late 80s, early 90s, it would have been probably a massive hit. Certainly, if it's probably starred someone like Stallone, I would imagine, or someone like that. The trailer, I'm pretty sure it's footage from the first film. I'm pretty sure all it does is literally telling you Extraction 2 is coming and it's got Chris Hemsworth in it, which we already knew. But any excuse to feast your eyeballs on Hemsworth. So yeah, check that out if you want. As I say, it doesn't really give much away. And then we've got Umbrella Academy Season 3, which unfortunately I thought we were going to get a trailer for it, and instead it's like a sort of question and answer session. It only goes on about 5 minutes with the cast, not even just sort of talking about what's your favourite karaoke song to sing and things like that. So we don't really get anything to elaborate on the Sparrow Academy, or sort of alternative versions of the Umbrella Academy that we met at the end of Season 2. So yeah, unfortunately, I was expecting more for that, but we did not get that. And then Cowboy Bebop, their anime live action adaptation. They basically put up the opening credits. I've not seen the original anime, I must admit. I know anime fans, they're very voracious in not liking any sort of live action adaptations at all. And you've only got to go to the internet and you can see that 99% of them are saying, oh, this is going to be absolute rubbish without even seeing it. I obviously haven't seen the anime, so I'll go in open-minded, and just the bit of footage of the opening credits looks, it would make me want to watch it, the show. It was great. It looks very fun. So yeah, I'll put a link to that as well. Check that out if that's your thing. What else did we get? That's about it. Also unrelated to the Netflix Tudum was a new trailer for Muppets Haunted Mansion, the new Muppet special that's going on Disney Plus on the 8th of October. I've said before, I love the Muppets, always good fun. Yes, they're not as anarchic as they used to be, but even a lesser Muppet is still better than most other stuff. This is Gonzo and Pepe, the King Prawn, having to stay inside the Haunted Mansion, like based on the ride in Disney World, Disneyland. It's got Will Arnett, John Stamos, the usual. Danny Trejo looks like he's in the trailer as well. Always lots of special guests that turn up for these Muppet things. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a nice diversion. Say Muppets are always good fun to watch. So there's that coming. Say 8th of October that is coming. Then what things I've watched this week? Marvel What If, after the last two, which have been very sort of serious, with Doctor Strange, it was a very sort of serious downbeat episode, and then last week's one where Tony was rescued by Killmonger, and it was all very downbeat, and I mentioned last week it wasn't my favourite one. This week's one, What If Thor was an only child, basically Odin gives Loki back to the frost giant, so Thor grows up alone. He doesn't really have anyone influencing him to make him the guy that he became. So he's just this absolute party monster who just travels from planet to planet, throwing parties more sometimes until the planet is basically destroyed by the party. Yeah, it's just ludicrously good fun. It's much more like, I think it was episode 2, the one where T'Challa became Star Lord, and then you had Thanos in the bar, and they were all having a good laugh. It's very similar to that, but even more over the top. You've got Nick Fury is out of action because Korg, the big rock, the big New Zealand rock monster guy, just smacks him out of the way because he wants to cannonball into the pond when he's drunk. Howard the Duck is in it. I know Jeff Goldblum back as the Grandmaster, being DJing at a phone party. It's just ludicrous stuff like that. Yeah, just don't take it seriously. It's just very good fun. And then there's this the end bit. It's sounding like a big, oh, hang on, it takes like a left turn that you weren't expecting. And it appears that we've got 2 episodes left, I think it is. The finale is going to bring together, possibly bring together characters from the other, from all the different sort of multiverses that we've seen. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Because I'd heard that Agent Carter was coming back. Saying some of the other stories, like the Killmonger one, didn't really finish off properly, and the zombies one didn't. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do bring them all together for resolution, or there is another season coming as well next year. So maybe it'll carry forward into that. But yeah, just good fun, good, just stupid stuff going on with Thor and yeah, Korg, the Ravagers from Guardians of the Galaxy, as I say, Howard the Duck, and then Captain Marvel turns up to spoil the party. The Shield call in to sort it all out. Absolutely brilliant. Give that a go. Really fun. Recommended that. Star Wars Visions was the other big thing we had. The anime anthology that came to Disney Plus. All 9 episodes dropped at once, and it's okay. It's the very first episode, called The Duel, is Akira Kurosawa meets as if he had done Star Wars, which fitting because Lucas was greatly influenced by Kurosawa, and like especially Hidden Fortress in the original Star Wars. So it's sort of gone full circle. Black and white, made to look like old film, just sort of perfect samurai, but obviously instead of he's a Ronin, a rogue lone samurai, but instead of his sword, he's got a lightsaber. Really loved it. Very say the artwork's very original. He gets in R2 unit and one of those big like brimmed straw hats like the Storm's wearing in Big Trouble in China that I never knew I needed to see, but once I saw it, I was like, yep, we're quite happy to watch a whole series just on that alone. Some of the others not so much. There's something for everyone. I say there's a lot of the sort of cutesy anime which I'm not a massive fan on. There's the second episode, I think it's like a rock opera, but it's not. I would have preferred it to go even more over the top. It's like a band and they're singing, playing a gig for Jabba the Hutt. But it doesn't go full on rock opera and have loads of different songs, and that's a problem as well that a lot of these episodes have got. They're only like 15 minutes long, and a couple of them are like 20 minutes. So some of them, quite a few of them, just don't feel resolved. A bit like the Marvel What If episodes. There isn't quite enough resolution to them, which is a shame. They feel like they need to be continued. But yeah, The Duel I loved. There's one called The Village Bride, The Ninth Jedi, and one called The Elder, where they are looking for tracking down this old man, and it turns out to be an old Sith. Played by James Hong, who was David Lopan again in Big Trouble in China. So yeah, absolutely did really enjoy that one. There's a ludicrous one with some twins fighting on the outside of a Star Destroyer, no helmets or nothing, just running around hitting each other with lightsabers. Apparently the animation studio that did that one, they're sort of known for their over the top theatrics like that. So yeah, I imagine they're going to be very hit and miss. Some people love them, some people hate them. So there's usually the same similar ones that people like. There are those particular ones, the ones that I mentioned, they're quite samey because they're all literally just just take take a samurai and just stick a Jedi in its place as a sort of stand-in, helping out a village or doing various missions, and the sort of samurai and Jedi are quite intertwined like that. So they are a bit samey. In terms of anthologies, I probably enjoyed What If more. All the Love, Death and Robots I mentioned before on Netflix. with David Fincher. That I probably enjoyed more. That had more consistency of quality through it. Even the old Animatrix, the anthology on the original Matrix movie. There was also the little anime shorts. I really enjoyed those as well. Yes, I don't know. Yeah, Star Wars Visions is fine for it. The music was very good. I must mention quite a few of them. It sort of reminiscent of John Williams, but without copying straight away on quite a few of them. And yeah, that works really well. So yeah, give that a go. Say if you're an anime fan or Star Wars, if you're an anime fan, I imagine you'll get a lot more out of it than I did. Yeah, if they're talking maybe another season, if they do, fair enough. I'm not crying out for it, but what I did watch on Netflix, which I binged in 2 evenings, and actually loved it, is Squid Game, the new Korean series on there, which is basically it's anything like Battle Royale, Hunger Games, anything that you've seen where people enter competitions with deadly results. It plays very much. It's a bit like, as I say, very much like Battle Royale. The old game show Takeshi's Castle you used to watch. It was like over here in the UK. It was like early in the morning on a Saturday morning in the early hours. Just ludicrous. The Japanese game show, people falling off obstacles and bouncy castles and falling in water and things like that. Very similar to that, but if you fall off the obstacle, someone machine guns you in the face, and that's you dead. It very much like that, but done in a style. These sort of things are usually sort of dystopian future. This is just like it's set now. It's basically people that are destitute, that are in money troubles. They're basically desperate people that they're after the money, join up for this game, and then it's interesting. It looks beautiful. It's sort of candy colored. It's not the sort of dystopian grays and dark and cyberpunky stuff, because they're basically playing kids games, Korean kid games. Obviously, there's some that they play a game. They call it red light, green light. I think over here we called it would have been like what's the time, Mr. Wolf, where you've effectively got someone at the front and you have to creep up, and then when they turn around you have to stop, and if they catch you moving, you're out. Whereas obviously in Squid Game, you're out, and someone machine guns you to bits. Body ketchup flying everywhere. Very violent, obviously, but really, really well acted, really poignant and heartbreaking in some places, because some of the games are quite strange, and there's different. Some you play on your own, some you play in teams, some you play in pairs, and sometimes you may think, oh yeah, I'll go in this team with these people that I like, and then you find out that actually you're being pitted against each other, and obviously you then got that the people that you have been friends with are probably going to get killed if you for you to win. It's very good. It's one of those shows very similar to Battle Royale. It sort of begs that question of, if you were in that situation, what would you do? It's easy to say, well, I would never take a life, never under any circumstances. But if basically, if someone shoved a gun in your hand and said, shoot that guy, or you need to play this game, and if you lose, you die, and if they lose, they die, and then whether or not your how much your instinct, your survival instinct would kick in, and would you just suddenly betray people that you've possibly known for years to save your own skin? So yeah, Squid Game, absolutely loved it. Netflix do such great world sort of cinema, foreign TV series is on there, especially the Koreans. I've got some great stuff coming out. Yeah, I can't recommend Squid Game enough. The music was great. I must mention the music. Very eclectic. Not a lot what you expect. Just seeing hundreds of people being mowed down by machine gun fire, blood squirting everywhere. To some smooth jazz. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Squid Game. Give it a go. You won't be disappointed. If you don't like, obviously, brutal violence in your face, then no, maybe give it a miss. But otherwise, yeah, absolutely check it out. That's about it for this week. So hope you enjoyed. So if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Take care, and until next week, eat, geek, and be merry.